All right. So, welcome back, everybody. We got a special video here for you all today. I got my homeboy Trevor and Trevon, the Mayo brothers, and
What's up?
we. Oh, my fault. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying what's up to the viewers and the listeners, man. That's all.
So that was Trevor. He didn't say his name or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But that was Trevor. Trevon has muted himself at the start of the video.
You gotta be
What's
careful,
up,
man. I
fellas?
think.
Yeah, I ain't afraid to talk. I'm just trying to be respectful to the host and,
Oh,
wait for my turn to speak.
Oh,
But,
you
we
didn't
still
tell me.
go.
Look, man, it's all good over here, man. It's all
oh no,
good.
I was just saying you gotta be careful with the thing because it might mess up the audio file. I was just if you mute yourself, so you gotta be careful with that.
You did
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
watch
I'm
it.
locked in love. I'm ready.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it, y'all. The topic of today's video is gonna be has 2K over the years, has it got progressively better, or has it been more or less the same? Has it fell off? Um, just wanted to give a little background information. I've been me and my girlfriend were playing. I ain't gonna say her name or anything like that because I don't know. She wants a name out there or anything. But we was playing a little play now game the other day, and she was like, I could be just as good as you if I had like 10, 20 years of experience. And I thought about it. I was like, dang, we really have been playing this thing for a little minute because the first time I played was back in 2006. My brother put me on. Shout out my boy Ashton, legend, MVP. He just don't play no more. He retired from the sticks and everything like that. He used to shoot my free throws, and then ever since 2K7 with Shaq and D Wade, I've been on my own, been trotting through. Um, so I have a little, and I also want to go ahead and get out. I have a bias. I do think 2K11 is probably the best. It is not probably. It is the best 2K that's been put out. But I just wanted to get y'all opinion really, and what do y'all think of? You can give your projections of like this upcoming 2K, which is after the time of this recording is about a week away, and just tell me what y'all think of just like 2K as the dynasty, as the franchise itself, and like where y'all see it going and how it's been so far for y'all.
Keegan.
Uh,
Oh, you go on, Javon. You go on.
no, you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Keegan, number one, man. You know we don't make any more predictions about 2K. We don't do that no more, man. Because every time, man, we make a prediction about 2K, it turns out to be, not as good as we thought it was. So, we
2K17
just
would be the perfect example of that. But go
yeah,
ahead.
that year,
Whew.
it was that was kind of rough for our group, but um nah, it's just funny that you said predictions, man. You know we don't do that, but I don't know, man. I think this year I do like the features that they added in terms of like my team, and the errors. I think those are two really cool features and cool game modes that they or what my the errors is like a game mode or a feature that they had just added. But with my team, I feel like they added some good stuff to go along with that existing game mode. And from the information we have about 2K23 so far, I think you know there are going to be people that can play the game offline that are going to enjoy it just as much as people that have enjoyed playing it online in the past. But that's all I can say about that. But I mean, 2K is the game that I get every year. That's the consistent game I get because I do love basketball. That's my favorite sport. But also because I mean, it's it's not only I
The
mean,
only
it's
basketball
the only
game out.
basketball game on the
Yeah.
market. So I was about to
Yeah.
say, it's the best basketball, but it is the only, it's the only one. So
Yeah, it's easy to be the best
by
when there's no
default, it's the
competition.
best. Yeah, by default, it's the best.
All
But I mean, it. I think I enjoy it because I get to play with you guys. Like you playing with you and Trevon, and back in the day we had what 2K16 that we was really really good at, and we were like top 100 and playing
That boy Trevor
pro-am and
throwing out
stuff
the
like that.
stats. Go ahead, man. Talk,
Yeah,
pop
no,
off,
no, but
pop
that was
off,
the
pop
year
off.
that we were really good, and then I mean, we're still pretty good, but sometimes we're not as good as top 100. But um,
And we start off a little
that's
slow,
why I
0 for
play.
30.
Yeah, no, but that's why I play because I get to play with y'all. I still get to play, basketball games, simulated, and all this stuff. So, but I enjoy 2K though.
Well, to answer the question, I feel like the game over the years is kind of weird. Like they've been doing, like, as far as the business, they've been doing a lot better as far as, like, making money. But does that mean, like, is the game actually getting better? But I feel like the game has become a lot more competitive and serious than it has been, like, in the past. In the past, you could really just get on and have fun and really just play with your friends and do all that. But now it's like whenever you play a game, you got people trying their hardest to just win a game instead of kind of like, just playing with your friends, having a good time. And I feel like that's kind of like drove a lot of people away from the game, at least on an online perspective, because you have just all the try hard people and stuff like that, and you got to worry about, like, everybody being on the same page every game instead of just kind of playing a little free. And when it comes to offline, like my career and stuff, that's what really, a lot of people kind of got into the game off of, was the my career thing. And I don't
Mhm.
really think they've done anything to, like, really improve my career or make it more enjoyable to play, because, like Chris Move back in the day when he used to upload videos, everybody used to watch it. But nowadays, I mean, he's still gonna pull his views because it's Chris Move, but, like, and it's not really getting as much viewership as it used to. And I feel like that's because my career has been kind of stale. Like they'll throw in like a new storyline that's kind of like halfway dead or had half the effort put into it, and then people kind of get bored and tired of it, and they like the look of the game and the graphics and all that, that's been improving, but as far as the actual way the game plays, it hasn't really, in my opinion, kept many people wanting to come back because on top of that, like, there's a lot of problems with the game every year, and they just get more and more expensive. You end up having to buy your way to, like, improving your player, and people just don't have the same exact time as they used to when they were younger. And I feel like how money hungry 2K has become has drove people away. But like I said, for me, like, kind of like Trevor, since I love basketball, I don't play I don't play organized basketball in real life like I used to. It's kind of like just what I still like navigate to because it's a way of me to still play the sport I love. But I like Trevor said, I am kind of anticipating this year. But as far as the way 2Ks improve, I feel like they have driven a lot of people away, and they just became more like pay to win in a sense.
For sure. For sure. I wanted to touch on a topic that you had mentioned, that both of y'all kind of hinted at or referenced to, as far as like skill based. Do y'all feel like, because there's a difference between like me bringing my point guard to the rack versus like Trevon or Chris bringing their guards to the rack? Do y'all feel like the way that, as far as gameplay wise, that it's been like progressively getting better as like you actually have to have skill in order to play, or you still feel like it's you have money, whoever has the most money could, be better at any given thing, pay to play, pay to win, I should say. Yeah.
I feel like, all right, it depends what game mode you talking about. We talking about like you. So you talking about the rec, right?
Well, I'm really talking about everything. I think my team is, for me, that's already far gone. That's definitely pay to play. That's gambling at this point, and it's a
Yeah,
shame
yeah,
that
that's
It's
definitely
they
that's
haven't
pay to
it's
set up
play,
for the
most
like
kids
definitely.
like that,
That,
man. It's a
yeah,
shame that they got that set
it's
up.
like for my career and online and the park and all that, it's kind of like unless you just want to spend all your time grinding your player and improving them, you kind of have to spend money to get VC to improve them. So in a sense, it's pay to win in that sense, but you still do have to have skill in order to, like, be good. You can have a 99 player and be trash, you gonna get beat. Like it's not that deep on the on the what you call it, on the my player side, because you still have to know, like, the right animations and how to play because it's more customizable. But like in my team, if somebody has uh like all pink diamonds and you got all like emeralds or something, you more than likely gonna lose because they was able to pay their way to get the better players. And it's not really much you can do when it comes to the cards because you can only pick out of the cars that are available at that time. And if you don't have a like MT or whatever to get those cars, you're gonna be at a disadvantage, even if you are better than that person. But when it comes to like uh wreck and parking that stuff, I feel like it is a more skill based thing because you don't have like, on my team, a lot of people like to play off ball and they like to use the computer and put certain settings on,
Mhm.
which plays more of a factor. But when it comes to the rec, everybody has to play their part and like be skilled enough in their own role. So I feel like it depends on what game mode you playing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It definitely depends on what game mode you're playing. Like you said, my team, I feel like my team you don't have to have as much skill because you can use the computer like you said, but even to do that at a high level, like those 250K tournaments and all that stuff, like that is real that's skill to be able to do what they do. I believe it's Ty, his name is Ty Debo, right, Trevon? Like
Yeah,
he the way he does off ball, the way he does things, like that is a skill. I haven't seen anybody play defense in my team like he does, but there are some things that players that aren't as good as playing off ball defense and doing stuff like that and switching and doing reads and things like that. In my team, that they're not as good as that as somebody like him, and they can get away with it. Um, so my team probably isn't as skill based, but like you said, or the rec I think is the way like he said, like he Trevon said, knowing how animations work, knowing how to trigger certain animations, knowing how to get your shot off, knowing how to dribble the basketball.
and make your player too. How to
Yeah,
make your player.
knowing the right build, and then also just like some. I mean, basketball IQ and 2K IQ are slightly different, but they still like 2K is like a basketball simulation game, so there is some basketball stuff to it, but some stuff in real life just isn't going to work in 2K, and a lot of stuff in 2K isn't going to
Yeah,
work in real life. But knowing how the game works and knowing what is the best way to play 2K, it does take some basketball IQ, like real life basketball IQ, but also knowing how 2K works and how the system works as well, and you kind of mix it together. But
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Because
yeah,
like Trevor said, there are levels to it. Like the person he named, Ty Debo, he's like one of the top. He wins money playing the game every year, like competitively. But like on top of, there are levels to how skilled players are. But it's kind of like I said, there's levels to it, but it's on top of that, you do have to know how the game works. And some people kind of thrive off of just like the exploits of the game.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a lot of factors that go into it that develop, like, I mean, that determine how productive or how efficient you are at the game. But it doesn't always mean that that person is skilled, if
yeah,
that makes sense.
I would agree with that too because there are people that know the exploits of the game and um like this and it's always going to be something broken with the game. It's always going to be a meta build. It's always going to be
Quickest
the
jump shots.
yeah, what jump shot is the
Yeah.
best is always going to be like this year it was paint mashing. Like you couldn't stop it unless you were super tall and one of the big like 7'2", 7 foot. It can only go up 7'2", I think this year. 7'2" big men. Like that's the only way you could be able to stop it. And even then, sometimes if it's another 7'2" big man with really good interior offense and stuff like that, like they could still get it over you by just pump faking and doing that stuff. And it's always going to be one of those. I mean, 2K, uh, what was it, 2K18? No, 2K19. It was like the post scorers
Yeah, I was
and the
thinking of that. Mhm.
defenders. Um,
They got that
2K,
badge. That was it.
yeah, yeah, 2K.
Defenders could shoot in the lockdowns, could shoot in the corners, lights out.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and then 2K17, you had the smaller guards, the shooters, the sharpshooters. 2K19 also had the stretch bigs. I think that was that year. So I mean, you're always gonna have, you know, stuff that just kind of broken about the game.
Well, one last question for y'all before we wrap this up. Your two reasons why and your favorite 2K. What was your favorite? What's been your favorite one so far? Just two reasons, real quick.
Mhm. I
All right.
like 2K19.
Mm.
I feel like even though they had pie charts, everybody had a very like they had those pie chart builds, but it felt more diverse. Like you didn't just run up against the same builds. Like it's weird because now you give people more freedom, but they still are going to upgrade really the same stuff or get the best builds or look at the same stuff on YouTube to get those same builds. Because think about it this way, like if you're making a game and you're a guard, you're always going to upgrade your driving dunk, your 3-point shooting, or your shooting stats, and then your ball handling, right? And then do a little defense. That's what everybody's most likely going to do, probably driving layup and stuff like that. But other than
That's
that, they ain't gonna touch nothing else. But with the pie chart builds, people tried different things. Like you would get the playmaker shot creators, you would get the sharpshooting playmakers, you would get the slashing playmaker, so it was kind of in that sense a little more diverse and then same throughout the whole uh throughout all the positions. But uh 2K19 was really cool to me. I like 2K16 as well because we did very well that year in Pro Am.
Yeah, that was a lot of sentimental values right there.
Yeah,
For that.
so those two would probably be my favorite years. But um I mean, I think overall 2K has done um, well with keep continuing to progress. Like, I mean, the mechanics I think are continue to get better with technology, and the graphics, of course, are going to get better.
Okay,
But
okay. And Trevon, what you
stuff
think?
like that is cool.
you said favorite 2K and why?
Yeah, favorite 2K and why?
Okay, I don't know. It's like two different. I kind of got an answer too, and the reason is because it's like it's kind of two different reasons as to why. But hear me out. Like Trevor said, as far as like the most balanced game, in my opinion, I would say 2K19 when it comes to online preferences. Also, my team was very fun that year, and that was the first year that I actually kind of tapped into my team because because I did hit legend that year. Um, so I was able to get like double VC and stuff, and I just spent that on packs and all that. But I feel like as a whole, for as far as balance, 2K19 because like Trevor said, there were archetypes, and you could kind of like pick which one you want a primary, which one you want a secondary. It came with a set base of like badges you could do. So I felt like that really opened up the line of like creativity for a lot of people because I was seeing people that were like locked down post scores and uh, slash and shot creators and rim protecting lockdown. Like it was a lot of cool like builds. So it wasn't really one meta build because each like specific archetype had their own special, impact that they put on the game. And once you hit a certain over, I think it was like 96. You would get double takeover. That was the first year of double takeover, which made your build special if you reach that. You know, if you reach that overall, and every takeover that year kind of worked, and they were all pretty like powerful in their own way. And then for the 99 system. It wasn't so easy for everybody to get, but it was extremely rewarding if you hit legend. So as far as balance, I would say 2K19 because of all the game modes and just how I feel like gameplay worked. Um, but as far as like just having fun, I really always I think 2K15 is always gonna hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
Like when it comes
that
to the
was a
game,
fun.
because 2K15, like that year was live. Like everybody was playing. Like PlayStation 4 was fairly new. That was the second year of the PS4. Everybody was switching over to, next gen. Like we all remember we would literally have like kind of like
Lineups.
just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like
Yeah.
pickup runs at the we would literally have pickup runs at the
At
park.
the
Like
right,
it
yeah,
would be
part,
at
right,
us not like at the park, like it'd be me, you, Keegan,
yeah.
and then we would play against Chris, Trey, and whoever, Ontario and Jaden would come out. And we would
My
literally just
boy
have like
Daddy-O.
yeah, we would literally just have like all different teams and we would all like just like go back like winner stay on the court, everybody else get next. Like it was just like that was a good year as far as like the activity on the game. People just having fun. The builds were crazy. Uh, like there was that glitch that year with like the demi-guys, but I remember my build was still good enough to compete. And then on top of that, I like Rec that year too because it was kind of a little more unique. It wasn't like everybody wears the same uniforms. You could go in there with your park clothes on. And I don't know if you remember that, key. It was like the first year of Jordan Rec, and you would just
I
have to
remember
get
that.
on the got. Yeah, you had to get on the got next spot, and that was fun. So I feel like as far as just having fun and arcadey feel, like it wasn't super sweaty or comp that year. I just had pure fun on that game. But as far as like a good mix between fun and balance, I would say 2K19. It really just depends on what kind of like experience you're looking for as you play. But those two games definitely.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, Javon, I think 2K15 was definitely a fun year too. But I think what makes 2K15, 2K16, and 2K19 like similar is that you can make your build and be good at what that build is built to do and still be effective and not have to make like one specific build. You know what I mean? Like, especially in 2K19, all those builds could affect the game and be really, really effective to win if you knew how to use it right and if you were able to get it to like I say like 93, 94, all the way up to like at least 96. Like you would be really, really good and you could win games. You didn't have to like scratch that build and then go make a new one. Like all like ever since 2K19, like or not ever since, but 2K19 and before all those games, like I only really made one build for the whole year. Like now I'll have like multiple builds because like the game evolves and then you have to make that new best player build and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
they changed the game like
mhm,
2 to 3 months into the game, which forces you to like have to make a new build.
yeah,
It just costs a lot more money now. You can't really just stick with one player through the year.
yeah, it does cost a lot more money. So that's one downside I would say, Keegan. Like it 2K can cost some money, man, if you're trying to be competitive. But
Yeah. Well, guys,
what hold on, Keegan, what do you how do you feel about like how 2K has gone over the years?
um kind of my answer, kind of like how I feel about my team, is definitely more like a pay to win type of service. It's
Yeah.
been a little bit more skill. The my career, like I said, that's kind of where the foundation started back in like 2K10. Then
Hmm.
it got, I think it was just best at 2K11. It had ankle breakers, cut scenes. As far as cutscenes, I'm talking about like press conferences. Players got injured. That was like just the little things. And the graphics
Oh,
wise, like you could really put that like against everything for real. And that was like one of the first times that like multiplayer was starting to become a thing.
That was the
Multiplayer really
birth of
started
Pro-Am,
taking.
right?
Yeah, first year prime. Yep,
yeah.
first year prime. Um, but I just think it just become more like money hungry and money grabbing and stuff as far as like trying to pay to win type of service. The skill is still there to a certain degree, but it's still like whoever has this money, whoever has the most money, you know what I'm saying, is gonna get the best end of the stick.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, you know, I appreciate y'all giving y'all opinions and thoughts. This video ran over a little bit longer than expected, but it was good conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna be trying to get y'all back in throughout this season, throughout the year. It's a lot of stuff I got planned. So this is just one of the little videos just to get out before 2K drops. Be sure to come back, like, subscribe to the video, share, and we out.
Appreciate it, Keegan, man.
Sir.
Appreciate you, Brody.